Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you again at the new year 2023. Now we have to do the Eci'S for this week. It's about Londo Kampung, and we have to give the argument about can our region develop the English language skill like in the video about Londo Kampung. After seeing shows on TikTok about how people who live in the area can speak English fluently, this is due to several reasons. They have sufficient ability, so that with the abilities they have, they use them properly and correctly, so that they are efficient. And the second, they have a strong will. With a strong will, anything can be achieved, even though at first we can't. Only with persistence and discipline, all obstacles will be easily overcome. And the last, they think that English is important for the future, so they fight hard to achieve the desired goal. In today's modern era, mastering English has become a necessity. How could I not? Almost all writing on various products, places, applications, websites, and others always use English. Not only that, almost all types of jobs also include English proficiency as a creation. For Indonesians who are born with a different mother tongue, there may be several obstacles. Fortunately, there has been English lessons since elementary school. At least some of the vocabulary has been mastered, despite the fact there are still those who find it difficult to speak English actively. When asked to speak English every day, the answers were still stammering, nervous, worse yet not related to what was being asked. Apparently, most Indonesians also admit that it is rather difficult to speak English, even though they already understand its meaning. So, what is it that makes it difficult for Indonesians to speak English? Many causes of difficulties for Indonesians to speak English. One is wrong mindset and only based on books. English is like any other language, can be learned from various sources and has a method for its development. 2. Lack of motivation and only learn when told. Even if there is a desire to learn, he must be asked first or reminded first by someone else. For example, being told by a boss, being told by parents, because of grades, waiting a test, and so on. In fact, not a few who just learn when faced with urgent situation. For example, going to interviews in English, having clients from outside, presentation assignments in English, or welcoming guests from an expert on various other urgent situations. Number 3, difficult in pronunciation. One of the most common obstacles when speaking English is pronunciation. Pronunciation in English is indeed much different from Indonesia. In addition, sometimes the writing and pronunciation are quite different. That's why many find it difficult. 4. Same because friends make fun of. This may be one of the reasons most Indonesians find it difficult to speak English. Someone who already wants to learn English becomes down and afraid of being ridiculed by their peers. 5. Limited study time. Another cause is the lack of time to practice English. This is felt by adult English learners, especially those who are already working. And the last is costs for English courses are expensive. Certainly not wrong, because by taking the course, we will be trained by an expert and supported by structured material. Of all these obstacles, it's good that from now on, let's solve these difficulties so that we can create an environment like in Kampung Londo. What is our struggle? One is increase self-confidence. Confidence can only be obtained from yourself. The solution is to study in groups and often meet strangers. Number two, the average person says lack of time. So let's use an effective way of learning instead of spending a little time but often. Currently, there are also many applications that can be used to study anywhere. Whenever we have free time, whether it's at lunch, in the morning, after waking up, or before going to bed. Number three, if it's hard to memorize vocabulary, take steps. First, make sticky notes and all the objects in the room. Write down the names of the objects so they are easy to remember. The second, memorize one by one with a target that must be achieved per week using an electronic book. And the third, we can also take basic English courses to memorize them. Number four, no friends to practice with. Lots of people stop learning English because they don't have friends to practice with. Even though this is very important and finding friends nowadays is not difficult, especially since the goal is to master English together. We can use learning applications that connect too many people. Many people want to be able to speak great English but are confused about how to start. Even though we already know that speaking English is important for everyone, why is English important for Indonesia? Because English is often used in conveying information and knowledge. Those Indonesian people will have broader insights if they can speak English and regularly use it to find information. At international forums, communication are conducted in English. English is important because English is the official language of 53 countries in the world. There are many things that you can enjoy to the fullest, that you can meet people in these countries without feeling the difficulty of mastering English. English has become a world language because we need a language that is easy for everyone to use. English is a world language because it is considered a relatively easy language to learn. That's a little opinion from me about the Eci'S theme this time. I hope it's useful and efficient for all. Thank you for listening. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.